Yeah, hi everyone, welcome to Emsley Lodge for another week. A little bit of a quiet sort of week. Couldn't manage to get a winner through the week. Ran a horse called Solar Flash up the bush on the weekend. She went really poor for me first up, but we just raced her in the race. Probably wasn't really suited to her, but I thought she actually went okay. Racebook will read she ran 6th or 7th or something, but wasn't beaten all that far. I think she might be a nice little horse you can sort of place somewhere. Maybe just give her one more, then sort of third run in, maybe over a mile. She'd be a nice little 20-to-1 shot that we can sort of have a bit of a look at. So just follow her, a horse called Solar Flash. I think she's certainly worthwhile. Maybe in about 3 weeks' time, it's worthwhile having a couple of bucks on. What else? We did actually have one winner through the week, and that was North Melbourne, of course. But I just thought I'd just mention that. Okay, runners this week. Friday, Geelong. I've got young Duro in there, but he won't run. I'll take him somewhere else if I want to make sure he's 100% right before we go back to the races. What else we got? Sunday up at Echuca. Now, I've got a horse called Young Harry Cool having his first start for us. He's been trained sort of in the at Caulfield his whole life, and he's been a little bit hit and miss. He showed a heap of ability in a few races, and his form just lately sort of tapered off a little bit. So they're giving him a chance to be trained out of the country. So we've thrown him out into a nice little quarter-acre paddock, and he can just see how he goes there. He's taken a little bit of time to settle in, but he's just sort of starting to get into our sort of pattern here. And his last 2 gallops have been good, so just keen to sort of take him to the races and sort of see how he is. Taking the blinkers off him, just going to race him sort of a la natural and see how he is. But he's actually young hostess's brother, and quite ironic. She's a 2,400 metre horse and he's a 1,000 metre horse. So, but big young Harry Cool, he looks in fantastic. He's got a spring coat on him, that horse. So he came to us in great condition. So hopefully he can run some sort of race on Sunday at Echuca. Monday, head off to Warrnambool. Hopefully it's not too wet. Geez, if they raced here at the moment, it'd be a heavy 10. So hopefully Warrnambool track holds up okay. I'll have 2 runners down there. One will be Croc Lurkin. He ran first up over 1,000 metres up at Warrnambool last week. Went really well. He's an interesting horse. He just needs to have a couple of starts where he learns how to race this horse, because he does a fair bit wrong. But he was really good the other day. Goes up to the 1,100. I was going to go straight to a 1,200 metre race with him, but I thought just because the track's going to be really heavy, I don't want to pull the guts out of him. So he'll probably go around an 1,100 metre maiden at Warrnambool on Monday. Another horse called Eyestryke. Along the similar lines, I wanted to try to run him in a 1,400 or maybe even a 1,500 second up, but I'll run him in a 1,300 on a real heavy track and see how he goes there. Nice enough sort of horse. Went okay at Geelong the other day. Just a nice progressive horse, and without sort of jumping him up too much. Interesting horse, that horse. He didn't have a lot of luck the other day and was still pretty competitive in good grade. So hopefully Warrnambool to drop back in grade. So, but those 2 horses, both their last starts were very good. So they probably get their chance to sort of run a similar race on Monday.
G'day guys, welcome to Around the Stables. This week's horse is a horse called Melitus, obviously a very well-known horse to the stable. Him and Hums actually spelled together. They had a really good break over the winter. They put on a lot of condition. He was actually, he's come back in at about 5:48 and his race winning weight was around 5:10. So he's had a really good spell, and yeah, really keen to get him back into work. He ran really nicely last time in at Sale. He sort of looked really progressive, and we sort of went down to the South Australian Derby prep, and unfortunately he was probably, he just didn't handle the trip that well. He didn't handle sort of being over there, and he was just that, that little bit immature. But I think the trip will do him the world of good in the long run, and yeah, he'll do all his racing here in Melbourne this time in, and I think that'll certainly suit him. Yeah, it's obviously a horse that the stable has a high opinion of, and he's had a really good spell. He's muscled up, he's strengthened up, so I think he'll improve again this time in, and yeah, hopefully we can snag a decent one with him.
That's it for another week at Emsley Lodge. Thanks for watching. Sort of getting towards the end of the racing season. That's been another great season for the stable, which has been great. Probably looking forward to next season too. Got a couple of sort of really sort of well-bred sort of 2-year-olds. We haven't had the sort of quality of 2-year-old come through the stable for a while, so keen to sort of see how they all face up. What else? COVID's still hanging around. To see a stable in Melbourne sort of gone into lockdown. One of their staff was sort of exposed this week, so nobody really in racing has sort of tested positive or anything yet, so which sort of is surprising, I suppose. But yeah, it could be an interesting one. But one of the stables in Melbourne has sort of gone into lockdown, so see how that all washes out. And even here, I see down here at Geelong that there's been a case of COVID, so hopefully we can sort of keep open and the owners can keep coming back to the races. But anyway, it doesn't give you a good feel, does it? They start locking things down, it means people can't go to the races again. But anyway, we just got back to almost normal. But anyway, hopefully they'll be able to keep racing and we can keep sort of moving on. Until next week, see you later. Okay, runners this week, you want to move, mate, because you're about to get run over. Sort of really looking forward to the up-and-coming stable season for the stable next year. Couple of really, yeah. No, you're making me say bloopers now. That wasn't even a blooper.